What is your favorite franchise that you've ever done?
I'd say all-time favorite is why I don't do baseball anymore. Best answer I can give anyone who watched me in MLB The Show is
How much do you get paid?
you're like looking, you really want to know how much someone gets paid. I'd say most YouTubers income is
Well, good, you guys. Welcome back to the Virtual Turf Talk podcast. You know me and Oliver, but we have a big ass Canadian here, Brett Barrett. How you doing, man?
I said, hey, thank you guys for having me. It's nice to meet you both. And I feel like I've talked to you guys a lot over Facebook Messenger. So it's nice to finally meet you guys face to face.
And yeah, you know, it's funny.
I'm a big fan. I listen to the podcast. I know you guys always say you don't believe me. I've listened to pretty much every single episode. You guys are doing a good job. I'm proud of you. Proud of you going after this. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
You know, it's pretty funny. I've asked Brett multiple times to let me come into his crib, and he never actually accepted my invitation. So I mean, you know, hey, it's whatever. It's whatever.
It's just such an open-ended. If you were here, 100%. Do you have a passport?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. The funny thing is about Americans, a weird difference between Americans. Usually Americans have a passport. Most Canadians always have a passport, but a lot of them, when I talk to Americans, a lot of them don't have a passport because there's less reason. Like as a kid, I was always going to America, but Americans aren't like going to Canada and stuff. So hey, if you have a passport,
see, I don't think that's really true. I don't even have my passport expired maybe 5 years ago.
But you have one. Most people don't get one.
Yeah, Oliver is the exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of getting started into it. We all play Madden franchise together. I wanted to ask you, and this has probably been a burning question in the chats before, but what is your favorite franchise that you've ever done?
Favorite franchise I've ever done? Oh gosh, that's a good opener. I would say the Steelers one was like, to be honest, the first time that I felt like people were like loving the franchise was the Commanders. Do you guys remember the Commanders?
It's my favorite one.
That's my favorite one.
That was when I was easily the best at the game. Then that was like coming off of like when I was doing some of the MCS stuff. And I won those 5 Super Bowls in a row. And I felt like, and the first time on YouTube, which as we kind of get into my YouTube stuff, that was the first time that I felt like when I posted, like people were excited. Like that was the best feedback I've ever had on anything, was that franchise. In terms of like recently, the Steelers one, like had an insane amount of storylines. Like
it was really good.
Melvin Burris. That game I liked because that game like allowed me to. There was just more like freestyling in that game. I think was that 2 years ago?
That was
21.
It was 22 or 22. No. Commanders was 21. That was 22. They did Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers was 22.
22. And that game like allowed me to do a lot of like, I could throw the ball up and like just moss people, and that stuff's always good for YouTube. The year before, the Commanders is when like the stop and go was really big, and I could stop, kind of move, and that was one thing that I loved. I would say all-time favorite is the Commanders, because I did win 5 Super Bowls in a row, which was really good. I don't think I will ever be able to repeat. The Steelers one, I lost to Keyshawn Kelly, the same guy, like 4 times. Part of that made it interesting, but I was furious. Like I was, oh my God. If people don't think I care about these franchises, like I was messed. Every time I lost that guy in the Super Bowl, I was angry for at least an hour. Yeah. Like I remember after losing him the 3rd time in a row, I went for like an hour walk, and I was just like, I gotta cool off because I'm too upset about this. But no, I just love online franchise. But I would say Commanders. What's your guys' favorite that you've ever been in or done, even if not in my leagues?
Oh, well, I mean, the favorite one I've ever been in was Bounties, of course. But my favorite one all time is Commanders for sure. I like Commanders. I thought that's when you were at best at the game, to be honest with you. I thought that's when you were at your best. And honestly, it was pretty cool seeing you go on the dynasty run. I'm not gonna lie, and build that Commanders team up, because I think that was the first year that they had been the football team at the time. They weren't even the Commanders. Yeah. This is when they first moved from the Redskins. So to watch you build them up into a powerhouse, it was good for me to watch for sure as a fan.
Yeah. Bro, my 1000% my favorite one was right when I was getting into like actually playing the leagues. I don't know if you remember. It was the team by state league. Team by state, like it was I was the Monarchs, and you were the Huskies or something, right? I can't remember, but it was that was my favorite one because it was like England, and I remember I spent like 20 minutes talking to Taylor in chat, like trying to get Graham Gano because he's Scottish, and he was born in England, and I wanted one British player on the team. And that was my favorite. That was my favorite league, definitely, but like a mile.
That was a real. I remember you because you were that team. I think you did. Your team wasn't that league. I wish would have went more. It wasn't overly like popular. It's a really cool idea, but that you did it because I remember your team. Who you had all the kind
I had all the foreign players. Yeah, I had two. I had I don't know, a bunch of other guys. Yeah, but like foreign players.
No, we might have to pick up that same idea again because I think that had potential, like the battle of the states.
Yes.
Like so you talked about you wish that league would continue to go on now. What is one of the leagues that you've done out of all the leagues you've done that you would wish to have went longer or that you would like to resume in Madden?
That I would like to resume? Oh gosh. The Saints one I felt like was like the coolest.
It's crazy.
Saints one was cool. I went back and looked at the Jamie Newman stats and I was like, that was actually the coolest thing that's ever happened in a league. Was like literally he was 56 overall and he went to a 99. So like if I could do one, I did like a last dance with that team and I won a Super Bowl, but that's one that like there was like probably 10 different unique storylines. What makes like it interesting for me, and I think for the viewers when they're watching, is you have those unique kind of storylines. Like a quarterback comes in. I had a DB, Daquan Gold, in that franchise who like went up to 99 really quick. And had like 13 picks in his rookie year as like a 60. That's the type of stuff that like I get excited about. And I think the Saints one was so good. Like Kyle Hamilton, I traded for a star dev Kyle Hamilton, and in 2 weeks I got him to X Factor. Like I think I was a little bit better as a user back then, but then Hamilton just took over. That was like its own story in a video. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I played against that Saints team. That team was loaded. It was extremely tough to go against that team. I hated going against that team. Honestly, I think I played you twice, and I probably quit the league after that because no one was beating you. No one was beating you. Nobody was beating the Panthers usually, which I'm pretty sure was V-Russ at the time. But nobody was beating you or V-Russ in the NFC. So yeah, it was tough.
I wasn't even in that league, but I remember when the Last Dance video dropped. I was with I was on vacation with Violet, my girlfriend right now, and she came over to. Like when I was with my family originally, she came over and we were visiting the city, right? And I get the notification and I was just playing that in my ear the entire time. I remember specifically where I was when that was, and that video dropped. That's probably one of my favorite ones to watch as well. I don't lie.
Really? See,
yeah, no, I like.
I didn't even know you watched the videos, Oliver. It means a lot. Thank you.
I did. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Thank you. I remember where I was when I posted that. I was at a cabin. I think that was in the summer because that was right before the new game came out. That was like one of my ideas to call it like the Last Dance. But yeah, if I could go back and continue one, I would say that one I loved. I love the Saints.
So, okay, so we talked about once you want to continue. What made you, even in general, get into starting online franchises on your YouTube channel?
So that, like, I could probably go into the story of my entire Madden. For me, started in Madden 12, and like I was horrible. And the first thing that I got into was online franchises. Like, I didn't really play a ton of Ultimate Team. I would join online franchises, and like I said, I told this story recently of I joined one, and I think I was honestly better then than I even am now. I was in like grade 10 and I joined a league, and I think it was like $30 or $40 buy-in, and the winner got a good amount of money, and I joined as the Jags and I won back-to-back years. Like it was like, and I was like absolutely hooked. Like all I cared, like to me, online franchises, and that's why I always like say to you guys, like I'm living the dream here, because this is like what I actually like really love to do when I'm like, it's just, you get to build a team with like Mutt and Regs. When you're just playing games, there's no like, you play one game and then once it's done, it's kind of like, you can build your leaderboard, but in this, like you can watch players develop, all those things. So I just loved online franchise. And I tried when I first started YouTube to get popular on online franchise, but it clearly didn't work. And I did a lot of different, like sports and stuff, but this is like always what I've wanted to do. I love it.
I mean, I have a special place in my heart for the online franchise because I mean, it's how we all met. You know, like me coming in the end of 2022. You know, I was the new kid. I was like how a lot of these guys are now that I make fun of, but I was that same guy. And you know, getting to meet you, getting to talk to you, and honestly, what opened me up to you and you know most YouTubers that I talk to now was the fact that you talk shit. I mean, it was like you weren't. It's like you weren't above us. You were one of us. Because you know we used to talk shit to each other, but you're not used to a YouTuber talking shit to you in the chat. So when you did that, I was like, oh shit, okay, he's normal. Like he's one of the guys. He's one of the guys. He's just like us. He loves Madden and he likes to talk shit too.
The funny thing about that is that like, okay, so when I joined, maybe it was a year ago that I joined the chats. I was like watching a lot of TD, right? And he was kind of like, TD was kind of my guy that I would just watch like every single day because I'm young. I was like maybe 17, like I just turned 17, right? And now I'm 18 going on 19. So if you go back and you look at like my DMs that I had, if I don't know if they're there, I probably deleted them because they were embarrassing, but I sent TD like a bunch of fucking messages when I was like 16, like asking to get into the fucking chats. And if you go and you look at like these new kids that have joined and I make fun of them, like I was hearing what Darien said, and I make fun of them too. I was probably significantly worse. I was probably significantly worse than they were because I was like, hey, bro, I love your videos. Hey, do you want to give me a chance? We're both from Canada. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, how are you doing? And then, you know, I never got a response, by the way. Thank you for that. But yeah, I was probably way worse.
No problem. I was aware that I didn't get that message.
I mean, but I mean, you think you didn't get responded to? I was commissioning the guys' leagues, and he would leave me open 24/7.
I didn't. Exactly. I don't mean to ever get on, but no, to the chat. Like, I actually, to me, that's like the fun of the entire thing. Like, it's my job now. So every single day I'm playing these leagues. It takes a lot to these express leagues. It's lonely. Like, you sit in the office all day. I can literally just like, it's like, I think of you guys as like my friends who I just like work with because I have people to talk to all day who like care about the same things I do. And honestly, when I used to join these leagues, I loved like the banter that would come from an online franchise. Like you can beat someone in the regular season, talk a bunch of trash to them, and then you got to back it up come playoffs. So I think a lot of people say that same thing. It surprises them that I'm like willing to like talk, but like I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like that's literally what I find so fun.
Yeah.
And I say it to you guys all the time. The only difference between me and you guys is that I started YouTube. Any of you guys could be equally as successful if you put in the work. There's nothing different about me or like my personality that allowed me to, it's literally just, I started making YouTube videos, I started editing them. So it's like, I like to just hang out with you guys, have fun. It's like, you guys are like my good, my friends that I talk to every day.
I can see the same thing.
About the online franchise. That's why I can do it all year and like get through it. Because there's a lot of leagues is because of the people in the chats. So even though I hate you guys sometimes.
No, I hate you too sometimes as well. Man. Don't worry.
No, I hate you as well.
That's crazy. But you talked about it made you get you do different to you and I that you got into YouTube. What made you get into YouTube in general in the first place?
The YouTube, like, to me, I've always been pretty competitive in terms of just like, not as, I don't even know if I want to say that, but I would just watch YouTube all the time. Like I'm Maverick, who I got to meet like 3 years ago. I went super fanboy when I met him. I would watch his Madden videos all the time. There's a lot of YouTubers that I would just go to bed. My nightly routine was to watch Madden on YouTube. And I asked my parents for an Elgato because I was curious if I could do it. Like I was just like, oh, these guys are doing it. I didn't really go into it with the intention of, the thing that set me back is I was never really good at like video editing. I had no idea how any of that worked. I just knew that I liked Madden and I knew I liked watching these guys play Madden. So I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at the game too. I wonder if there's anything that I could do that people would watch. And a lot of failure went into that. Like I said, the first channel I deleted. I have some horrible videos, but like that was the first step for me, was just watching other people do YouTube and just being like, oh.
Do you remember the name of that old channel? If you had to remember, do you remember the old name?
Yeah, it's called the Clutch QB. Yeah, it's deleted. And that channel is like symbolic of like the whole like thing where I didn't want to go by my real name because I was like so embarrassed of that channel. Like I didn't tell any of my friends. I didn't tell anyone on the football team. Like I hid that channel from everybody. I had not like a ton of subs, but I had people who were watching. And like I would have been mortified if anyone found out. I deleted the channel because some of my friends found it and like started playing the videos, not even in like a making fun of it. I just was so self-conscious of like making videos that I just went home and I deleted it immediately. Then I picked it up again later as my actual name, TDBarrett, which was my PSL. Yeah.
most people actually probably don't know this besides people that have watched your channel for a long time, but you actually kind of blew up off of MLB The Show, not even Madden. So like, explain your love for MLB The Show and what it's meant for your career.
Yeah. So that's like a lot of people who've watched me in the last 3 to 4 years wouldn't know about. I used to play literally 2K and MLB. Like Madden actually wasn't on the channel for like 3 or 4 years. I started off as Madden and I got to like maybe like 2,000 subs, 2 or 3,000 subs. And I just hit a wall. Like I could not get anyone to watch me play Madden. So the story of MLB The Show, I played baseball my whole life. Baseball is my favorite sport. I knew the most about baseball, but I didn't play the game. Like I played the game a lot when I was younger. Like Road to the Show was my favorite thing. It literally, and I vividly remember the day I went online and I was like, I'm going to go to all the different sports games and like write down the most subbed people who do the particular sports games just to see if there's any, because I was feeling like Madden was super top heavy at the time. Like everyone at the top was getting views. And I just was like, clearly I'm getting no trickle down views. So I was like, I wrote it down and I remember I wrote MLB The Show. And at the time there wasn't a lot of people doing it. And I was like, okay, this could be an opportunity. So I picked up the game and they were just introducing a mode called Diamond Dynasty. And that Diamond Dynasty mode was kind of a take on Ultimate Team. I figured if I was one of the early people to post something and be ahead of the curve, that it would give me a chance to get more recommended views than Madden, which there was already so many people doing. So I dove right like headfirst into Diamond Dynasty. And I remember the first time I posted a Diamond Dynasty gameplay, I got like 10,000 views and I was getting like 150. And I was like, oh, maybe baseball is the ticket. And I just went all in on baseball, like complete. And the lucky thing is I knew a ton about baseball because it was my favorite sport growing up. It's all I cared about was baseball until I found football. But yeah, I did baseball for a long time. And a lot of people would wonder why I don't do baseball anymore. It's not even like the coolest thing that ever happened to me on YouTube was getting put in MLB The Show. I don't know if you guys have seen that face scan.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah. So that to me, like, is the coolest thing that's ever happened. And I kind of got popular on Road to the Show and I was posting 3 videos a day, which was for a long time on MLB The Show. And my Road to the Show was like everything. I would just every day. And it became like, I posted probably like 600, 700 MLB videos a year. And over like a 3-year span, I think truthfully, the best answer I can give anyone who watched me on MLB The Show is I burnt myself out of baseball and the game. Like I got to the point where I just like didn't love it anymore. And it was hard for me to record and give that same energy that had kind of got me popular and like care. So I like switched back to Madden when Madden, shout out to Yo Boy Pizza for kind of pushing me to start making Madden videos again at an event. I could tell that story later, but yeah, that's MLB The Show is definitely like the only reason that I ever became even remotely popular on YouTube was because of MLB The Show, 100%.
You ever see yourself kind of doing that same kind of burnout with Madden? Because you've been posting expresses like every single day. You have the second channel going as well. Do you ever see that being like a thing for you today?
Like I think as we kind of talked about earlier, the online franchise, a lot of what I was doing with MLB was against the computer and like just less social. And I kind of stopped watching baseball in general. Like I didn't watch a ton of I still watch a ton of football. I think what would separate it is this. I don't really see that happening. I could see like maybe if we're talking 5 to 10 years down in the future, but I think it is like the fact that it's so competitive. It keeps me like really like wanting to get like, I want to play you, Oliver, and I want you to like, I want to watch, I want to beat you, same with you, Darien. Like I want to meet you in the playoffs and beat you 35-0 and then post it. And be angry like that fuels me as a person. So it's like it's less about football. There's so much. Yeah, I always sucked at MLB The Show. I had zero talent. I was a Road to the Show player. Like I couldn't hit anything. Like I was bad at the game. This I actually like focused on getting good at the game through like when I did that Road to the MCS thing a while ago. But yeah, it's a good question. I'm not gonna say no, but yeah, I like enjoy the expresses. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though. You talked about you had your face scan in MLB. You've done a lot with Madden. I'm pretty sure you did the interviews a little while ago. Of course, you was on the MCS. You was on the playoff thing. a little while ago with the Chiefs
Yep.
and the Eagles. What is your favorite thing about being involved with the MCS and being able to do those things and get those opportunities?
With the MCS or more just Madden as a whole? Kind of
more so just MCS.
MCS. So I guess to talk about my favorite thing I ever did, like I did some commentating, which was a lot of fun. I think the biggest thing that came from when I made that decision to try and get good at the game, and I still remember when I decided that, because I was absolutely horrible at the game. Literally, Joke, who I don't know if you guys remember Joke, he used to play a lot of Madden in all the tournaments. At the time, I was doing videos playing pros, and he was like, "You should try and like get really good." And I was like, "Yeah." So I did, and that just wasn't. I love watching it, and I've liked this stuff, but I just couldn't. Which maybe carries into a different. I get this question all the time, so I kind of want to answer it on here about competitive. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I just want to answer why, because people ask a lot about why I don't necessarily compete as much anymore. And honestly, the truest answer is I'm not really in high school throughout. Like I never really was a big gamer, like to the point where I can play for long periods of time. And when I did that MCS run and when I was going for the Patriots, I was probably like the least myself I had ever been. Like it took a lot out of me to be a YouTuber. And I was talking to K-Mac about this recently, to be a YouTuber and to post every single day and then practice for 4 hours a day and play the MCS and like play MUT and play weekend league. That took a lot out of me. And like, it was the greatest moment of my life, YouTube wise, when I made the live event. But like, I would say I wasn't really, as a person in real life, I wasn't as happy at that time. But like you said, that brought other opportunities with the MCS. I've enjoyed working them. I love watching it. And at some point I could see myself coming back. It's just, it does, like, I respect those guys so much because it takes a toll to be that good at the game. Like it really takes another level of commitments.
Yeah. Just kind of talking about like competitive stuff. Like you used to play competitively and you're like all right at the game, I'd say. What do you think about the current like skill? Thank you. What do you think about the current skill gap debate right now? Like with the new updates that have been coming out and whatnot.
Yeah, because like they removed a lot of blitzes, and offensive lines are really able to pick it up a lot better. And we've had this talk with other YouTubers that have come on here too. They've said like with the removal of blitzes that it kind of dived the skill gap down a little bit and made it a little bit more closer than it typically would be if you had a lot of good blitzes in the game.
Yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, the best players usually, like if you look at Henry, Dez, a lot of the tournaments, you're seeing the same guys make it. So I don't think it's necessarily like the best players usually seem to find a way. For me personally, I like that, even though it's like frustrating because I felt like I was really good out of 3-5 wide. And when they took that away, I was like kind of lost from a YouTube standpoint. Like it's fun for me when every single game is like good, like I feel like at the end of the day, you want good games, you want high scoring games. And with the skill, like with there being less defense in general, it's harder to get stops. I think personally, I don't see it as a bad thing. I think it probably, but I definitely see how it can be annoying and I was very annoyed when 3-5 wide left.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we know.
Definitely left a little bit. Like, yeah. And if I wanted, I should go try and pick up a new defense. But I'm just like too stubborn. But
yeah. I mean, I understand.
You guys like it? Do you guys think the game's good right now? Do you like it?
See, we've talked enough about the game. It's kind of like wearing out. We come on here every week and just complain about Madden.
Okay, so you
go to the last podcast and see that.
Huh?
I'll kind of I give my opinion on the game because I don't think we ever really do. So the game right now for me, I'm kind of burnt out a little bit on it. I was on MUT for a little while. I was on No Money Spent team. I have a pretty good team, but like the game just feels good and bad at the same time. It feels good and bad at the same time. MUT isn't really enjoyable. And then, of course, like you're not doing really 24s anymore. You're really doing expressives. I don't really have time to do expressives. So, like, it kind of has, like, MUT in of itself is taking the fun out of the game for me. Now, I don't pick the game up like how I used to. I used to be playing with you guys every day. I don't play the game every day. I probably haven't picked the game up in about a week now. So, I mean, for me, like, the game isn't bad, but, like, I can understand why people are starting to die down a lot more than it would typically has.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't think Madden's necessarily in like a bad competitive space. Nor like with the skill gap, I don't think it's necessarily bad right now. With 3-3-3 getting like removed from the game, not removed from the game, but not being as good, I'd say it's maybe easier for somebody like me or Micah to like, you know, pick up blitzes and like actually be able to score points, right? So maybe it's like better for us, I'd say, because we can be in like more competitive games than we might not have been able to before. Like, because if, you know, we can't pick up a blitz, we're going to get blown up by 30 because we can't fucking pass the ball, can't run the ball, can't do anything. But now that they've kind of evened it out a little bit, it might rely on you having a better offense than you maybe having a better defense, right? So I think it's in a good place. I think it caters more to a casual audience. I'm not saying I'm casual. I play the game almost every fucking day. But I'm still...
I would say you're pretty casual.
I would say pretty casual.
Anyways.
I'm just kidding, Oliver. I'm just kidding.
No,
you choked so bad versus me today. Like,
I don't want to hear about it, bro. I don't want to talk
bad.
I don't want to talk about it.
Literally, I love you and I want you to win. Like, one of these times when you're up, like, don't sell.
I threw a jump ball. I had red zone threat on a Brock Bowers. So I was like, I'm gonna test a double pass. I didn't care. I didn't care.
You throw way too many first down picks. I already give you one advice, Oliver. You're always throwing picks on first. Don't throw first down picks.
Yeah.
I always like testing you on first down. I want to see what you do. Just like throw a ball. I was like, am I catching this? My guess.
Oliver, you're a player. I'm just kidding.
That means
you called me. Thank you, man. You said that I was average at the game. You said that. So I was just.
You're average in here. No, I'm playing.
I think I'm above average at the game. Not elite, but I think I'm above.
I'd hope so. I'd hope so.
You know, it's fun.
I'd hope so.
Do you think I'm above average at the game? Let's talk about that, Oliver. Do you think where do you rank me this year?
Rank you? Well, okay, we can get into that fully later because we do have our YouTuber skill tier list. But I think I'm like better than okay, let's go. If we talk about the actual like player base.
Wait, where are you going with this?
No, because he asked like where I think I am. If we talk about like the people that load
where
up
you
the game every single game.
Where
I think we can get into that. No, okay. Well, we can get into TD later. But if I want to talk about me, which I can talk about me. But if you compare me to like the average person, like if my friend loaded up the game and played Madden, I'm beating him by 35. If a guy who plays the game once a week, I play him, I'm probably beating him most of the time, right?
You're not beating me.
Yeah, but you have no life, so that's the difference.
I don't play the game. I probably have I probably have less than double the games you have played. So,
but I feel like I'm way better than the casual player. I think I'm way better. It's just that like
way better.
I agree with that.
Way better.
Casual play, Oliver. At least the offenses that you run, like you run tight doubles, it does take a good amount of adjustments to stuff. I will agree with that. I'm co-signing with Oliver.
Do you know what offense was I running this game? Do you know? Do you remember?
Pistol.
What formation was I in?
Something.
Pistol strong.
Pistol
strong.
Pistol strong.
Shout out.
Let me know when the ebook. Let me know when the ebook drops.
You want me to send it to Spruce? Spruce gave it to me. I'll give it to you.
If you want it. Okay, yeah,
he did. I'll give it
a good scheme. It's a really good scheme.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get into the ranking stuff later. We'll get into that.
Exactly.
Okay, but okay, back onto like the YouTube side, right? You have 2 channels, right? You've pretty sure you've had more than that, but like, what made you create 2 different YouTube channels? What is the point of it?
Honestly, if you see a lot of YouTubers with 2 channels, it's just a way to separate. YouTube likes consistency. YouTube likes, I feel like when you post similar things, like if I were to post a bunch of 2 videos on my main channel, I think it would hurt my next Madden video. And I think a lot of YouTubers would tell you. So a second channel is kind of a way to separate certain type of content.
Yeah.
A lot of YouTubers, one guy who does it really well is Jester the Laser. Like he has like multiple channels where he can, like, if he wants to make a kind of a viral, really highly edited video, he does it on his main. His second one, he can post more like reaction videos. I think my second channel is kind of like that. It's more casual. It allows me to do different stuff. And it started I posted MLB The Show on it. And I stopped posting MLB The Show on it, but that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, I mean, because before you turned into the Raiders franchise, you was actually posting golf on it. I kind of want to get into your interest in golf. What brought upon you becoming a golfer? Like, what was the reason for that?
Hey, it's honestly just the fact I'm quite competitive. I went out with my dad and his friends one morning, like early, like 6 a.m., way too early to be golfing. And I had always like went like once a year, and I sucked so bad. Like I sucked so bad. And when I went home and I was just like, I was kind of mad. And I was like, okay, I like to do these like little experiments. So I was like, what if I go to the driving range every single day for a week and then golf again? Will I get better? So I went to the driving range every single day for a week, for an hour. I did the exact same thing. I was a little bit better. And then I did it again for another week. And then I'm talking with my buddy and I'm like, I should start posting videos of this. And honestly, those videos are like some of the videos I'm most proud of. Like, I think I'm excited. The problem is I live in Canada where the golf courses have been closed for 2 months now. So
yeah,
I'm kind of hooped. But it's just like, to me, that is so much more in my element than, not that gaming isn't, because Madden is, but like I was always playing sports as a kid. I played every single sport. Like I love being outside playing sports. That's like all I like when I'm golfing and I'm like competing. And I wanted to post it to kind of share it. And I think we had some people who like didn't know me from real YouTubers who started watching the golf, and that was really cool. And I just like I still want to get good at it. It's a fun sport.
Yeah, I mean, well, fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's super fun.
Is it
Super
really
fun.
I went golfing once. I got blisters on my hands. That's why I'll never go again. Never go again.
You saw my golfing clip. You saw my golfing.
I did see you should if you can edit, you should put that clip in here.
Oh no, we both have ones. We both have ones. Yeah, let's put Darien.
You have a golfing video too?
I do. I sent it. I don't think anybody. I think everybody disregarded it. But I went to the golf range. I hit it's one of in the old 23 group chats or something that I sent.
Oh, okay.
I hit a 200 yard drive because my dad was doing it. I was at the driving range with my dad, like you did, and my dad was like one hand because in England they used to play golf all the time. That's how they do like business and stuff. My dad used to lay. He used to do carpentry for my grandpa, and my grandpa would do like all the business. He'd like sell all these contracts for like to like build houses and stuff. And my dad was like the main guy, so he'd go golf like every single day, kind of like what you do, but just for business. So my dad would come to this golfing range for not playing golf in maybe 20 years, and he'd just one-handed just like 250-yard drives every single fucking time. And I'd go there and I'd just miss the ball. Like I was so uncoordinated in golf, and I went like maybe 3 times, and then I hit one 200-yard drive or something. I sent it to the group chat, and that's the only time I'm ever doing it, and it's the only time I'll ever touch a golf club again. That's all I'm saying.
You're done with golf. You're ending on a good note. You'll have to send that clip. No, I feel like I got to see this clip now.
Yeah, well, I've got scoliosis. It didn't look the best. I got my back's all bent. I'm sideways like.
Well, hey, as someone who did you have extended? Because I know you're really tall. So golfing when you're really tall is sometimes a little awkward unless you have extended kind of clubs.
No, they didn't. I'm left-handed, but I hate using left-handed clubs. So not only did I have like an off-handed club when I hit it, I was also like they were also like really, really, really short. I had like a driver. I was using one of the shorter drivers because they had like it was like a proper metal bit at the end. It was one of the older clubs, I think, because it didn't have that.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, and I hit that because like the first time I hit it maybe 150, and it was like a good hit. Like it made that noise where it was like, okay, that's a good hit, right? And then I did it again, and that was the one that I hit far. So I kind of stuck with that. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Yeah, but it was a very short one. It felt really weird to use, but I hit the ball far, so I was happy with it.
That's all that matters. Yeah, it's an addicting sport. I love it.
Okay. We're gonna get into the most talked about part of this podcast. We asked everybody this. We asked every YouTuber that's come on to, react to the list. We did put you on there. You are about the bottom of A. Do you think you're right where you need to be at? Who do you think needs to be lower that you've played? How do you feel about the list?
Airline's killing me, Darien. Fuck.
Oh yeah, you guys look. Okay, I would honestly agree with the list, and this is gonna shock people. I still beat TSAP. I think I'm like over 50%, but I think if you were to do it right now, because he is competing, he knows way more about the game than me. I would actually swap me and TSAP. And I hate that I'm saying this. I hate it and I could change. I'll practice and but TSAP is doing way more competitively than me. Like if I I don't know anything about this game. I don't know any of the meta. I'm just freestyling.
That's
I would maybe put that. I would maybe put TSAP in front of me. I've heard Maze is really good, so maybe Maze a little bit higher. But honestly, that whole top row, I agree with. I think Civil, Black Rain, and Form, you could maybe make the argument that Civil, because he is like a technical pro, is up, but then also Black Rain and Form are both unbelievable players. So I feel like they're kind of, I would say I am kind of where I think I could be. I think I should be. I will say that. Okay. I think Pizza is better maybe, and K is better. I've played Pizza and K. I would say they both. Pizza is surprisingly active.
Everyone said that KKS maybe needs to be KK's needs to be a little higher. That's kind of the unanimous thing. Like they all played him. They said, well, he has fingers and thumbs. Like he can play.
Yeah, no, he's good. Kenny's good. Like I said, a lot of these guys. But I would say, maybe. And like I said, I hate saying it and I don't agree with it, but TSAP probably you can put higher than me, but he still sucks and he's going to lose to me. Clutch, life on the line. I want me over TSAP.
Interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. I might take TSAP over you, man. I might take TSAP over you.
You don't believe it. Last year, I won 27 bowls last year. This is how I win. I'm going to tell you guys how I win CFMs. I don't make mistakes. Like TSAP makes mistakes.
If you throw
TSAP might
don't work. If you 3 picks on
but I'll make a mistake. Regular season week 6, I'll make a mistake. Playoffs, I want the I let the other people make mistakes. Last year, I maybe wasn't the best, but I literally won 27 Super Bowls last year. Nobody could beat me.
Oh God.
Nobody could. You couldn't.
I beat you in the bowl. I beat you in the bowl. I can show the picture. I beat you in the bowl. I played you twice.
So you played me 50 times.
I played you multiple times in the championship games. It wasn't the Super Bowl.
You guys will lose to me 20 times, beat me once, and that's the one you talk about.
That's so much cap. I had a stretch where I beat you like 10 games in a row, and you just forgot all about
Buccaneers franchise. Remember when you were the Bucks?
That was the first game.
Move on.
I was 138-0, like 2 years in a row. You finally beat me, and that's all you talk about, Darien.
I beat you in Expresses. I beat you. You okay? Since you want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
I am 90% against you, Darien. 90%.
No, you're not.
Maybe
no,
you're not. You're not even 90% against me. You're not even 90% against me.
100% against.
You're not. You're maybe 70%. You're maybe 70%.
No, Oliver, you are.
Maybe no. I've beaten you maybe 4 or 5 times. Maybe 4 or 5 times. You've beaten me maybe 10 times. Maybe 10 times. 10 to 5. It's 10 to 5.
10 times this week.
No, not 10 times this week. No. See, when was the last time I had a good team? If you want to talk about it, let's talk about me. Let's say, when was the last time I had a good team versus you? Let's say I had the Bears. I had the Bears last time we played.
Okay, you have had good teams. We've
name one. Name one. Oh yeah, fantasy draft this. Fantasy draft that.
Colts where you lost every single time, and you had a stacked team.
No. We were 500 in that league. Actually, no, you're 1 game over me. I was counting. In the playoffs. We were tied. We had won the same. That was like maybe a 3-year league, right? We played 6 regular season games. Shut up. We were playing 6. We played 6 regular season games. I won 3. You won 3. Right, and then in the playoffs, you won that 1 game, and that was what pushed you over. You had 1 win.
I have never heard such garbage.
It's not. I counted. I specifically counted. I counted.
So incorrect.
You're just in denial. Okay. You're just in denial.
That's okay. You're in denial. I'm not in denial. All the games.
You will. You can go.
Entire video called "Absolutely Frying Vanilla Vic" in Madden. It's just gonna be.
No, there's going to be Violet TGL in there. You can't do that. There's going to be Violet TGL in there. You can't do that.
Yeah, there's going to be an old one.
There's a file on my computer of me beating you by 30. Do you really want that on the internet? There's a file on my computer of me beating you by 30.
1 game.
That's on YouTube. That's on YouTube, and that has like 100K views of you losing by 30. Do you want me to release the DMs too? The DMs were even worse. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Yes. You have beat me once.
I have not beat you once.
Like multiple. No, not as many times as you say, but we can move on.
5 times. 5 times. You saying right now on live television? It's not live, but live television that I have not beat you 5 times.
I would say maybe you have, but you've lost 100 times.
No, I haven't. We haven't played 100 times. We haven't played.
I'm not gonna lie. He's definitely capping about me. He beat me by I think it was about 28 one year, and I came back and I beat the hell out of him the next year. It was like 34 to 13 or something like that.
Darien, I was a big TD guy when you were playing in that. Bro, Pharaoh's league was my favorite. I'll tell you right now, this is a little dick sucking, but he slapped the shit out of you multiple times. I don't want to fuck.
That was he had 2 games. He had 2 games
there.
where he beat the shit out of me. I'll give honest. He had 2 games. He beat me the first game that he played in the league. I think that was my first time playing Madden at that point. He had played it like
first time playing Madden in my whole life.
No. It was that year. He had you had the Bears league before that, so that was my first league in. I'm pretty sure you have multiple other leagues besides that, but that was my first league in. He beat me by 50. I'll be honest, he beat the hell out of me. He was about 50. I was embarrassed. But then the second game, right? The second game he beat me twice that year. And then the next year we split. I beat him by like 10 to 3 one game. And then he beat the hell out of me in the playoffs, which was like 28 to 3 or something like that. And then I came back and beat the hell out of him the next year, 34 to 13. I beat the fuck out of him. And he quit the game.
You know what? You knew that score way too fast. The moral of the story, you guys are good at Madden. You guys are. But I definitely say I am up on both of you.
You probably are. You probably are.
If you played Darien 10 times, how many times are you winning?
Let's not lie. Let's not lie, TD. Before we say this, let's not lie. Let's not lie, TD, before we say this.
Even teams.
I'm saying
even teams.
Hey, you guys have both been in the leagues for how long? Like Darien, you 3 years?
Maybe 8 months.
No. It's been a year. I mean, it's 2022.
Year and a half is, Okay. In that time frame, I've probably won 34 Super Bowls.
Oh my God.
You guys combined have won. Darien, you have 3?
That's not fair. I have 0. That's unfair. I have 0.
I have 3.
Yeah, so I'm saying my resume maybe like I don't know. You could make the argument that my 27 Super Bowls is more than your 3 combined. You could make that argument. I'm not making.
All I'm gonna say, Brett, is if I got to play Oliver in most of my Super Bowls, I will have more Super Bowls too. It's okay.
To be fair, we all have played.
I never played Oliver in a Super Bowl. Last year,
no. That's just the comparison. But you were playing Oliver like players in the Super Bowl. Let's be honest here.
No, you weren't.
Everybody would be.
TD had to play fucking Owen in the Super Bowl. That guy's horrible. That's horrible.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying.
Horrible. Owen's horrible. I've beaten him 5 times in a row. I'm 5-0 versus him. 5-0 versus him. He's horrible.
I don't believe it.
Horrible.
Hey, let's
lost to a guy with a Trump.
Okay, Brett. Moving on to better things. Right. So when we did that tier, we did a YouTube, we did a TDBarrett league ranking. Oliver came out and said that he thought he was the same skill level as Mr. Retro or
Oh, shut up. That was like 3 months ago. I'm a better person now. I'm a better person now.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I was listening. I was listening to you guys on my way to the gym, and I heard that. And I immediately called Ern. I literally was like, Ern, I got to clip this for you. And I sent it to him. And I went to the gym and and by the time I got back to the chat, like it was all you guys were talking about. Yeah, that was bold from Oliver.
That's not exactly what I meant. It might have been what you guys interpreted it as. It's not what I meant.
I knew what you meant. You were talking about MCS. You guys were both competing in the ladders and you had the same record at the time. That's what you were referring to. You were saying on that day, in that moment, you guys were saying, it got blown up. I am the reason Ern saw it, but that just proves I'm a day one and I was listening to the podcast. So I think that is credit towards me. That was like 40 minutes in too, and I was there. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm proud of you for that, man. You've been supporting us since day one.
I appreciate that.
He came up with the idea too. To be fair, people don't know this, but this was TD's idea. This was TD's idea.
TD3's behind the wall. Okay. But getting to Ern and TSAP, you have a relationship with both of those guys. You're pretty close with both of those guys. How did that begin and how has it grown since you guys first knew each other and met each other?
I would say it's TSAP was just, I didn't even know. I remember someone told me like, oh, there's some guy making YouTube videos and he was doing really well who was in the leagues. I don't even know how we got really close. I honestly, Ern was commissioned the leagues. So me and him would like just talk, but how we are like as close as we are now, I think for me and TSAP, I loved like, we would talk all the time about YouTube. Like I'd call him, we were doing the same things. We would kind of like, before we posted, we would like, and we were playing all the time in the Super Bowls. So we just kind of like created a group, a text message group, and we talk every single day. I think TSAP was like more through the YouTube thing. Ern obviously was doing YouTube at the time. And the three of us just really clicked. We're all like the same age. We're all like 25 to 27 years old. Yeah, it's like a good, I know those two have met. I've met TSAP, and I think we're planning on a couples trip or something at some point this year.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got your invites for that yet?
Yeah, I got mine in the mail. Yeah. I can't go.
Yeah.
I can't go. I haven't got my passport.
Oh,
I got mine over email. I got mine over email. I do have my passport.
Oh, okay.
Darien, you're single. Darien, you're single.
No, I'm not. I'm taking
Make sure to RSVP. Yes. RSVP. But yeah, we're planning on essentially. I do talk to T-Sap and Ern every single day. Love them both, man. They're two great friends that I've made, and then two more great friends in you guys that I've made. Even though you're bad at Madden, you're my friend.
See, okay, but like you say that, right? And then we were friends on Facebook, and you added me on there, and then you had blocked me on Instagram for a little while. So like,
yeah, you deserve to be blocked on Instagram. You deserve
no,
to be blocked
no, I didn't.
You know what you did.
I was
to be blocked on Instagram.
Darien's Instagram's a treat. Darien's Instagram's a treat. I'll tell you.
Darien, you were roasting people who are commenting on my video or on my picture.
I didn't know that.
And I was like, this dude is gone. I'm like, I'm blocking you, and I did it. I don't regret it. I do it again.
They were calling them like, bro, Oliver. They were referring to those two as like LeBron and Michael Jordan. I'm like, bro, can y'all stand up, please? Like,
the picture of me and T-Sap, and I was like, this dude's really gonna just come on here and be. No, I'm like, no, absolutely not. So you got blocked. I do it again. In a couple months, you're gonna get another chance. You're gonna be on probation, and I will unblock you. But you're still I'm allowed to block you on Instagram for that.
Okay, you deserve to be blocked. But why did you unadd me on Facebook then?
Facebook, you were digging through all my old photos.
Okay. That is.
Darren's obsessed, man.
I get it.
No.
It was funny. It was funny.
You see his face? He's totally guilty. There's a reason for those two.
He is. He does it to everyone. He does it to everyone. No, he does. He goes through my photos.
That did not just happen. Yeah, that didn't just happen. That was deserved, Darien. You deserve that.
I've done that to T-Sap, I've done that to Ern too, and I'm still followers and friends with both of those guys. So
maybe they don't have such embarrassing photos like TD does. Maybe.
I don't have embarrassing.
Some people, this is my lost screen. This is one of my lost screens.
Yeah, that's such a I don't know why. I was just being funny, man.
Oh my God, Oliver, bro, you should have been there in 22. Brett, like you guys don't get it now, but Brett used to send all types of just random photos to the chat.
No, he did. He'd send like mirror selfies. He'd send like him going out, like all that.
Every time I went to Super Bowl. Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was there for that one.
It was funny because he said we didn't notice about Brett, but Brett, I don't know if he said does it, but he used to wear fake tattoo arm sleeves on.
Of them. That's in the video. Yeah, no, I don't even remember that from the group chat. I thought that was corny when I was watching the videos.
It's not like the coolest thing I ever did, but you don't want to commit to a tattoo. So it's like, that one. If you want to have a tattoo that day, you can. If you want to take it off.
I always loved that it was like a slightly darker shade than your skin every time. It was very obviously a sleeve.
It was sick. Yeah. For big moments, I think that's something I need to bring back. Like if I were to bring back one thing, I think.
Where's the Gucci headband? Where's the
headband? Man, I forgot about that. I forgot about the Gucci headband.
Horribly uncomfortable. It's actually right here.
It was uncomfortable to look at, so you should probably keep it there.
No, it was funny.
I got this actually still there.
I got it as a I think even what the story was. I was like, I was wearing like Lululemon headbands. And I was like, I should get this one because I'm like, I feel like the viewers would think like it was like cool in like a funny way, but it's just uncomfortable. I just don't like wearing it.
It's always hilarious because like he would start the video off not wearing it, and then he would randomly get in a comp part, and then you would just catch him wearing it with his head. I'm like, where did the Gucci headband come from? Why is that on?
So sometimes the videos, like I watch the back and like the amount of different like hats I have on my head or like that I don't even realize.
What's that? You had a stuffed animal at one point that you used to just put in the background or something when you were like locked in. You did. I remember some of those. Those were very funny.
Yeah, I can't
remember.
Yeah, I was.
It was a Titans. It had like a Titan shirt. It had a Titan shirt, right?
Yeah,
I remember that. Oh, you talking about the bear? You talking about the bear?
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember that. But kind of to end it off, I had two more questions. So you are on YouTube, right? You're, to me, the biggest Madden YouTuber in the world. Who are some YouTubers that you have yet to collab with that you would still like to collab with at this point?
I have yet to collab. I don't like. It's hard to. What I'm doing right now doesn't really lead like great towards collabs. There's some honestly YouTubers that I've done a video with MMG.
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask MMG.
Yeah, MMG, dude. MMG is like you talk to him and you're like, wow, this guy is like clearly the most famous. He's got the personality of like, oh, this. It's so obvious when you like meet him how charismatic, how nice he was, why he's like the most famous Madden personality. Like, dude is just, dude. Like you can just tell. Like the first time we did a video together, I was like, yeah, this guy is like wildly cool. And I always root for him. Like certain people you meet and it's like you leave and you're like, oh, I hope he continues to kill. He's one of those people. That's why he's so popular. He's so charismatic. Like when you talk to him, really
I would sacrifice my newborn son for MMG on the podcast. I would definitely. My firstborn son is going away for MMG on the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And he would honestly, he would be great. But Pizza, like the guy who I'm probably in the Madden community who initially Pizza was like so helpful to me when I was like starting and I wanted to start making Madden videos. Me and him met randomly at like an event and we just like we were very similar in age, like things that we like to do, so we just started hanging out a lot, ended up becoming really good friends. And he was always there telling, like when I was struggling, when I was starting to post Madden videos and the views were not there, he was always like helping me out and like telling me to do this and like giving me, and I appreciate Pizza a ton. He's killing it too. So yeah.
Are you rooting for me and Oliver?
What?
Are you rooting for me and Oliver?
Am I rooting for you guys? Yes, I am rooting for you. See, I like watching people. That's why I said that in the chat that day you should start a podcast. I was like, I enjoy watching people if they want to do something. I like watching them like do it, you know? I feel like you guys have a hilarious relationship. You don't really make, you're the most random duo. You fight all the time. That's part of what makes it endearing.
We're authentic.
You know?
We're authentic.
You're authentic. And like there'll be times when I'm sure you're gonna feel like quitting. And there's gonna be times when it's like it's hard and it's like frustrating. But if you actually want it to work, I think the easy answer is just like, oh, give it time, it'll work. But that's not always the case. If you keep elevating, keep getting better, like you said, look at some equipment, get some different things. I definitely think you guys can make it.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks, man. To end it off,
I'll be there to tell you. If you stop posting, I'll be there to tell you. That's the best thing you can do is to have people, because I stopped posting for 6 days once when I first started YouTube. And if it wasn't for somebody being like, yo, where are you at? I don't think I'm a YouTuber right now, because it's easy to get out of the habit, but you need people to be like, hey guys, where are you at? And that kind of gets you back into.
Here's one thing. I want to shout out my one friend Tegan, because I got a DM the other day and the day before that. And whenever we don't post, he always messages me and says, hey, when are you guys uploading? When's the next video? Every single day. He's always been my kind of guy where he like tells me to upload. And then I will always message Darien. Like the days, Darien, that I message you to record, those are the days that Tegan sends me a message for us to fucking record. So shout out Tegan as well. I just want to say
it is always cool to have those type of guys though in your life, for sure, that encourage you even when you know what I'm saying, aren't really encourage yourself, for sure.
Yes.
But
go ahead.
To end off the podcast, I've probably one of the most anticipated questions that you probably get asked. How much do YouTubers get paid? Like how is that all determined?
So I would say most YouTubers, there's like different streams of revenue. So if the most YouTubers that you watch, there's like a base, which is like your AdSense, which is per 1,000 views. So if you look at a YouTuber and they're getting paid off the ads that you watch during. So most YouTubers, like if you see an embedded ad, like if you see a YouTuber in a video talking about a certain brand, they're probably getting paid outside of YouTube to put that in. But the ads at the start, that's your AdSense. I would say most YouTubers' income is like 70% AdSense, maybe 30% dedicated sponsorships. And then oftentimes like you can use you can kind of base it off of 1,000 views. So if you were like looking, you really want to know how much someone gets paid per 1,000 views, even if you put, it used to be $3, but now I think it's more like $10 to like $15 as like kind of YouTube gets more popular. They get paid off the amount of, there are other factors in terms of like how family friendly you are. Like what YouTube considers, like you answer questions, and as you go, like certain types of things, like the other thing you might not know is certain types of videos get different ads. Like sports YouTubers are going to get different ads than like if someone's making Roblox videos or something like that. So the pay is like very, very, very different. But But yeah, it's pretty much per 1,000 views. Per every view is how you get paid. Subscribers make nothing. Like you're not getting paid if you get a subscriber. Likes get nothing, comments get nothing. It's all about the view totals and the ads that you see beforehand is how it all works, essentially.
Okay. How much do you get paid?
How much I don't know. There's like, you can look online. If you can take a metric. I don't know how to come off of it, but if you like you said, if you take like $15 per 1,000 views, you could probably like over time determine how much someone has made in their career. I think it's not a bad thing to tell people like, oh, YouTubers get paid well, because I think that's like a good motivating factor for a lot of, like, I hope if someone's watching this right now, they would see it and be like, oh, okay, YouTubers make it, like, and that might push you to do it. I don't think it has to be this crazy private thing, but I think if you want to be a YouTuber and I look at YouTube as this. It's like an unpaid internship at the start. You're unpaid. You have to be willing to work hard when you're not getting paid. And once you work your way up the company ladder, if you're willing to put in more work than everybody else at the stage when you just begin YouTube, you're willing to post, you're making no money. Eventually you're going to climb the ladder and you'll start to see the crazy. There's risk to it because, it's like I said, it's an unpaid internship. You're not making anything. Like there's things you guys could probably be doing your time that you might make more of, but the reward potential is way high. And that's what kept me doing YouTube when things were really bad at times, when I was struggling. And you just got to know. That's how I've always kind of thought of the whole thing. Like when you start a YouTube channel, it's essentially like walking into Google it's like, how are you going to outwork all the other interns? How are you going to look at them and be like, I'm going to add something that they won't do, or I'm going to stay later than they, because if you do that, you're going to slowly work up, but it is unpaid, like at the beginning. So that's what makes it so difficult, is you can make a lot of videos without making a cent. But if you get more popular, obviously the earning potential goes way up.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us. And, we love you. And, we always want you to be good and stuff like that, and just, honestly, we just want to make sure you're good. But, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, hey, I want to say thank you to you guys. This was a lot of fun. I look forward to the post. I'll have my notifications on. I enjoyed the banter. And I hope this was good. We'll have to do it again sometime. Like goal. We'll do it again. Yeah. 10 likes on the video. I'll come back on.
Man. 10 likes.
Nah, man.
If y'all you want to come back.
If y'all really
come back.
100 likes.
If y'all really want to give us 100 likes, man, we'll get you guys the episode part 2.
I'll make 100.
Why don't we get for 100 likes? Why don't we get me, Sap, and Ern on? We'll do a panel.
We do a panel. Hey, if you guys want it,
that would be a lot of. Yeah.
If you guys want it, man.
That would be a lot of fun.
Bye. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys, and we're out.
Yes. Sure. Thanks, guys.
I know.
The only